Dang it, my kickstand broke.
Welcome to the WDW Fan Zone Show. I am Stuart Sternberg, and tonight we are joined by John Maloney, Lottie Ferguson, and Kurt. And we're going to be discussing our top 10 extinct attractions at Walt Disney World. And by extinct attractions, it could be a show, it could be a parade, it could be fireworks, but it's things that are no longer in the parks at Walt Disney World. That doesn't mean they can't be at another park someplace else, but they're not in Walt Disney World. But before we get into that, let's catch up with everybody. How are you doing, Lottie?
And I'm doing pretty good, except I broke the kickstand on my device, and so now it won't stay put. I gotta figure
no.
Well, you know what they say, what stands up must stand down.
Yeah.
It's rocking.
Yeah. How's everything with you, John?
Words can't describe it. But you know what? If I can spend my Thursday evening with the three of you, then the words that describe it are quite positive and endearing. So,
well, that's good. We can't say the same about you, but no, I'm kidding.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm kidding. And Kurt, what's new in your life?
Hey, we're one day closer to Labor Day, guys. One day closer to a 3-day weekend for those of us, Lottie, that we still have to work. And John, because I know you still got some jobs.
I took tomorrow off.
You cheater. I have a half day. I can't complain too much.
It's not that I don't have to work. It's just because of circumstances, I chose to retire. Those circumstances were I couldn't find anything. Thanks to a little pandemic that we had. But anyway, speaking of retiring, you can retire to a vacation. And who doesn't want to retire to a vacation than the great folks at Mouse Fan Travel? They're absolutely the best. When I say the best, top notch, number one, nobody can beat them. Nobody comes close to them when it comes to customer service. Not a single travel agency. None. Zero. Zilch. They're all by themselves at the top of the heap. And who doesn't want to go to the number one travel planner when you're looking to go on vacation to Walt Disney World, Disneyland, a Disney cruise, and Adventure by Disney? Or, maybe you want to go someplace else. I don't know. Maybe you want to see the Taj Mahal. Maybe you want to see the Queen in the UK. Wherever you want to go, however you want to go, Mouse Fan Travel's got the very best when it comes to travel planning, bar none. Did I say that already? Bar none? Anyway, they've got great deals going on now. Just check out their website, which I'll give you the link in a moment. But also, their travel agents don't sit back behind a desk. They're not out on, a lawn reading a newspaper. Well, nobody reads newspapers anymore. Checking their Kindle or iPad, whatever they're doing. No, not Mouse Fan Travel agents. They're working for you. They plan the vacation the way you want it, how you want it, within your budget. So forget the rest. Go with the best. That's Mouse Fan Travel at www.mousefantravel.com. That is www.mousefantravel.com.
I have a question.
Yes.
I have a question. If we go visit the Queen, can she arrange for us to be able to play with her corgis?
She might be able to arrange for you to do some kind of playing, but it won't be with her corgis.
I just want to play with her corgis.
She might want you to play with something else.
No, just the corgis.
All right. Anyway, top 10 list before we go. The show goes to the dogs.
Too late.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Let's see. Kurt, why don't you start us off this week?
I started with something that I wish the show would come back and that I'd love for the experience to come back, and that's the Kim Possible Adventure. As much as the bee buzzing around in the store in the Japan pavilion used to drive me crazy, I miss that. Going around from pavilion to pavilion, solving those crimes. It was fun.
Can anybody hear? Bernie is sleeping right here and he's snoring. So if anybody can hear him snoring, let me know. Yeah, we were sitting outside this evening and there was a nice breeze, so it knocked him out.
He looks comfortable.
Plus the 6 wild turkeys that walked by didn't help.
Oh,
Yeah.
He's barked out.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't barking at them. He was just curious. Yeah. All right. So Kim Possible. Okay. That one did not make my list, but not a bad choice. John, how about you?
well, I started with a sit-down show from Epcot, and it's Honey, I Shrunk the Audience.
Hmm.
I thought that was, it was innovative. It was fun. It just had some good energy to it. But certainly the Imagination Pavilion is kind of lacking right now. And
Yeah, it is.
but I definitely I always enjoyed that when they had it.
I thought about that, putting that on my list, and I took it off because I said to myself, it was kind of outdated towards the end because it was there for so many years. Not that it wasn't entertaining; it was very entertaining.
Well, right, but that's partly why we're talking about extinct things. So
Exactly, that's why it's
some
extinct.
of these, attractions, they went past or to the end of their lifespan, and
Yeah,
we miss them, but
Mhm.
it doesn't mean that they would come back.
yeah. So for whatever reason, I just decided to take it off my top 10 list and substitute something else. But anyway, let's let Lottie go and let's hear what you've got for us this week for number 10.
So I'm sure I'm gonna catch a bunch of slack for putting this one so far down on the list, but I never ever got to experience it, so it's got to be low on the list, and that's Horizons.
Hmm.
Well, that's saying something, though, if you put it on the list and you never even got a chance to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah, that
I
is
heard
saying something.
so much about it, and I'm just sad. That's the one thing that I'm sad I never got to see.
My wife
Yeah.
was afraid of it because you hang over the top of everything. So she was always afraid it was just going to drop. But we do the same thing in Peter Pan's Flight, but
Well, if you take the
not like
Skyliner,
Horizons.
yeah,
Different. For whatever reason, it was different for her.
she was younger then. Not that she's not young.
Yeah, she's wiser now.
Yes. All right. For my number 10, Ellen's Energy Adventure.
Oh, you just miss your naps.
Yeah. Well, that's why it's number 10 and not number. That's why it's number 10 and not number 1. It's a great attraction when you can stay awake on it, or it was a great attraction. But its time definitely came.
Mm.
All right, let's go to number 9, Kurt.
I honestly, I knew Horizon was going to be on my list, and then it somehow slipped my mind. So I went to Maelstrom instead, and I do miss Maelstrom. I miss the trolls. They're just not. I mean, all you got left is the one in their gift shop now is the only troll that's left. But well, of those trolls, the evil I'm going to eat you trolls. So I miss that show.
You know what? I thought about putting Maelstrom on my list, but I had others that I just liked a little bit better.
Oh, yeah.
I love Maelstrom.
We'll just let it go.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Yeah. I guess I'm frozen with all that talk.
Don't worry about it anymore.
Yes, you guys are trying to prompt me for what I do at the end of the show. No.
Well,
I'm not gonna.
yeah. Let's not give him any encouragement.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. All right, John.
Well, you're starting to hit on some of my honorable mentions, and I'm not going to go over my honorable mentions, but just suffice it to say, I have 8 experiences and attractions that are extinct that I had in my list that I had to pare down, and it was painful. It was painful. But my number 9, I'm going to go over to the Magic Kingdom, and I'm going to go to the Genie because I'm talking about Robin Williams and Rhea Perlman and Timekeeper.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that was a lot of fun, and they had the animatronics. I didn't particularly like having to stand to watch the show, but I liked the show.
Oh God, you just triggered me, and I forgot about one attraction. It was a show actually.
You triggered him. He's triggered.
Yeah, and I didn't put it on my list because I completely forgot about it till now. But anyway, it wasn't what you mentioned. It was just something else. So I just wrote it down.
Maybe you have a dynamic list for the
I'll
rest.
make it an honorable mention later. All right, Lottie.
My number 9. Oh, okay. So, question: does it have to be inside the parks?
Yes. Well, if it's on, is it on Disney World property?
Yes.
It has to be in the parks, but you can mention it.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't sure, so I put 2 for number 9.
All right. Well, let's hear both.
20,000 Leagues.
Okay.
Oh, how did I forget that? Oh my god. Oh, scratch this list out. It's gone.
Yeah. Start over. Start over. Do your list.
Forget about those first 2 I mentioned. All these got to move up. God.
20,000 Leagues. I mean, I know we've got another version of it, sort of, with Nemo and friends over at Disneyland, but the nostalgia of squeezing my little body into that submarine. Yeah.
It was worth the 45-minute wait when they said it was 15.
Mm-hmm.
And what was your other number 9 choice?
Well, it's on Disney property, but it wasn't in the park, and that was Disney Quest.
Yeah, that one honestly didn't even make my honorable mention.
You know, we're going to count both because I forgot about Disney Quest. Yeah, that would not have made my list though.
It's on my list because, and a lot of the ones that are on my list are there because it was the early days when Kyle and I were still dating and we were trying to figure each other out, and a lot of that happened at Disney, and so there's a lot of competition at Disney Quest that I remember. I just remember fondly those early years, and Disney Quest was a big part of it. So
you let him win, didn't you?
No, sir.
Yeah. Bruise that male ego. There you go.
Boy, and Kyle's not here to defend himself.
He is not. He's not even in the house.
Wow.
No, but there's a ghost that keeps opening up the door, and I think they're taking notes for him. So you're in trouble.
My number 9, Body Wars.
That made me.
Yeah, it's in a pavilion that is no longer there. Well, the building's there.
The building's there, but not the pavilion.
Right.
Well, you know what they ended up doing with those simulators? They basically cannibalized them, and they were using them for parts for Star Tours now. So as parts would break, they take them off and go take them over there.
Yeah.
There you go. Maybe it's time to update Star Tours. No,
so Star Tours is a cannibal. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I miss Body Wars. That that was the precursor to Star Tours. Little different. It was nice going through the body and seeing your heart and brain and all the other, the knee bone connected to the.
Do you remember why we went in? Why did you have to go? What were we doing going in?
I went in because my kids wanted to go in.
Well, when you went into the body, what were we after? And who was the actress that found it?
So we're after an actress?
Well, it was Elizabeth Shue was the scientist. And the guy from Animal House, I can't remember his name.
Tim.
Yeah, Tim.
I forgot his name.
Hudson, not Hudson.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Oh God,
that's not right. Anyways, yeah, we were actually going in to explore a sliver.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
And then we got attacked by those darn white blood cells.
I just remember the movement, going in and out of the body, and okay, which one of my kids is going to throw up first?
Yeah, especially if you were sitting in the back. Oh my gosh, when you get stuck in the heart, you're like, you were going.
Yeah.
So it's higher up on my list.
Okay, yeah, all right. Probably it's on everybody's. We're up to number 8.
The Magic Kingdom.
Tim Hutton was the guy from Animal House.
Tim Hudson, that's it.
No, Hutton.
Hutton. That was him. No, I think so.
Timothy Hutton.
Timothy Hutton.
No, it wasn't Timothy Hutton.
I just looked it up. It was Tim.
It
Yeah.
wasn't Timothy Hutton.
It wasn't Timothy Hutton. Look at Body Wars.
Well, look at Animal House.
All right, let's look at that.
Well-
Let's look at it.
Tim Matheson.
Matheson. That was
Same
it.
thing.
Yeah, we got the Tim part right.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're both a couple of Tims.
Yeah. Timmy.
All right, I
Uh,
stand corrected.
Anyways, Magic Kingdom Skyway. That was my number 8 on my list. It was a great attraction when you can ride it. Of course, you get the high winds or the lightning strikes that kind of shut it down. But I do miss the Skyway going back and forth between Tomorrowland and Fantasyland. It was a nice way to just kind of relax a little bit up there, chill out, check everyone out all around, see how bad the crowds are.
I remember that attraction. I never had the cubes to go on it, although I've been on the Skyliner now. So go figure.
It was a generic version. There were definitely no windows and no walls. You just had the door. But at least it was rectangular and it wasn't the round one like they had over at Disneyland.
Yeah. It was also nice to see in the park from the ground looking up.
Yeah, as long as no one spit down on you, it was great.
Yeah, everybody that was riding it said, "Oh, there's Kurt. Let's get Flemmy."
Yeah, dropping food. Those darn teenage kids.
That never happened to me.
So, but you can still see where the posts were as you're walking through different areas of the park.
Yep. Yep.
So the concrete areas. So,
Yeah,
When
all
did
right.
that close? When did that close?
was it 98?
Yeah, I don't think it was 2000. I think it was before 2000. I don't know why.
Skyway.
It might have been before 90. It might have been 96. I'm just not sure.
It's a D ticket. And let's see.
I never rode. Not once. I don't know why.
Start looking it up.
Don't know. Yeah, the version I found was over at Disneyland, so that didn't help. I'll find it. Let's go ahead and container. Go continue.
All right, John, what's your number 8 pick?
My number 8 pick is a parade from Epcot. I'm going back to Epcot already. And it was Tapestry of Nations. I thought that was one of the best parades ever.
Well, this closed around when that opened, November 10th, 1999.
I have here. Oh no, that was the submarines. Never mind.
99.
Yep, November 10th, 1999. Tapestry Nations. And what was the problem with that show? It took up too much space on the walkway.
Yep. Yeah, good choice though.
Cool show. It just took up too much room.
Yeah. All right, Lottie.
We're at number 8.
Number 8.
Disney's MGM Studios Backlot Tour.
I'm expanding on that one, but yes, the backlot tour was fun.
Yeah. I have mine a little further up on my list or down, however you want to look at it.
That was one of those things where, you know, we had been on a backlot tour so many times that we annoyed the rest of the guests because we'd asked to sit in the back row and talk the entire time.
So it was your family.
Well, just the two of us then, but yeah.
It was definitely a time investment.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And Kyle's a huge movie buff, so you know, he liked seeing all the props and yeah.
All right. For my number 8, I have Tarzan Rocks.
I always liked that show.
Hey, you know what I find interesting so far, and we've only gotten through the first 3. We're coming up with a lot of different choices. So it's not like we're all, you know, putting them in the same place or have the same attraction show or whatever. I think that's great. I think that's a testament to Disney with how many great things they've had through the years in the parks. All right, Kurt,
How
we're
they've kept it alive, how they've kept the parks, alive, organic, and always changing.
oh yeah. Kurt, we're up to number 6.
7.
Yes,
7.
I'm sorry. You're right. Number 7.
Yeah, because my 7 was
count.
your 8.
That's right.
I put in Body Wars / 20,000
Kurt,
Leagues Under the Sea.
we get it. I can't count.
Well,
we know that.
There's a reason why you're not the accountant anymore over at the bank. I don't know what to tell you.
I never
Well,
was.
you were never an accountant. That's true.
I didn't deal with numbers.
Oh, thank goodness. Right? That's me? Numbers? There's a reason I teach driver's ed.
That's all I did.
I always tell the kids when they tell me that they can't parallel park, I'm like, look, I was horrible at geometry. I can parallel park. If I can do it, you can. So, but my number 8 or 7, I'm sorry, Body Wars / it's the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. So,
which one is it?
Yes. Yes.
Which one?
Yes. if Lottie had 2 for her number 9, I'm getting 2 for my number 7.
One of mine didn't count.
Okay, fine. My one that doesn't count, then I'm going to have to.
Stuart counted it. I heard.
I like Lottie. You never knew if you were going to get sick in the back of that thing or not. So I would push more towards 20,000 Leagues over Body Wars. So I love the Body Wars attraction as long as I didn't get that back row on that hot day when you're hot and overheated already, and now you're feeling like you're going to lose it.
All right, so you're going with 20,000.
I'll go 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Okay.
And I'll throw out your Body Wars. Cannibal.
All right, John.
Some of you are probably going to have this higher on your list, but I'm going to go one little spark of inspiration is at the heart of all creation. One little spark of everything that's new lights up for you. Journey into Imagination with Dreamfinder, the original.
But Journey to Imagination is still there.
Well, now it's technically Journey into your imagination.
Name. You said different name.
Yes, I did. I did say that.
So John gets in on a technicality by
he does.
one word being added.
And you know what? I knew it would be John that would pull something like that.
Because that's why I didn't go there. I'm like, I'm not going to get in this argument. I let John take it.
Distractions are completely different.
So for anyone who hasn't listened to many of our past nightmares, whenever we do something like this, John is the one who always pushes the envelope to the point where we've got to say, like, hold on. Follow directions.
Yeah. That wasn't the directions. Well,
but he did. You know what? He's absolutely right this time.
This time
he found the lawyer in him. There's an extra word in there.
I was just trying to follow instructions. That's all I was doing.
You know what? Next time it's going to be if the pavilion's there, but it's a different show, it doesn't count.
Yeah. Hey, there's still Figment. That's about it.
That's almost like saying Spaceship Earth, because you have Madame Judi Dench there now, but you had Walter Cronkite many years ago.
But the scenes, most of the scenes are still the same.
Well, except for a little kid that now stares in the back and goes, extra, extra. He's just not
Disney, what's
screaming in
up
your
with
face
that?
Anymore.
Turn the paper boy around.
I bet he's been injured and they don't want to take him out, and he just needs to be fixed and then turn back around.
Maybe he's got the Yeti problem. If you turn around, he's got no face, or
the mouth doesn't move.
Too many people throwing spitballs at him and trying to get him in his face as he's going.
Extra, spitballs?
Extra. Have you seen that? Have you ever been stuck next to that little kid?
Were you ever traumatized as a kid with spitballs?
I had an older brother who was 7 years older than me. What do you think? So, yeah. Okay. So you were the older brother, it sounds like.
Yes,
so,
I was.
Yeah. There you go. So that's why you weren't traumatized. You were the one spitting those spitballs.
I wonder how many people can relate to this. I was the older brother. So my brother, he would do something, point his finger at me, and blame me. And my parents always believed him because he was the younger one. That little bastard.
So they would point to me thinking I wasn't going to get in trouble. So because they were pointing to me and I looked at them like, what just happened? They automatically knew I had nothing to do with it, and that got them in trouble. I had no
See?
idea what was going on. So that's the difference when you're 7 years younger.
All right. Where are we? Who's
Lottie.
Lottie, right?
Number 7, Mickey's Toontown Fair.
Honorable mention.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
Your
right.
kids are still young enough that you missed that. Did they get to explore that much?
No, they didn't get to see. What year did that? I don't know what year that closed, but I don't think. I don't think.
2010.
Yeah, I want to say it's around there.
Yeah, if it's 2010, my kids never got to see it.
Wow.
Wow, my kids are that much. Yeah, they are that much older than
Good
yours.
choice. I completely forgot about that. I went with Illuminations, Reflections of Earth for my number 7 choice.
We go on.
I kind of wish it would come back, but you know what? I like the new show. I like Harmonious, but Harmonious is not illuminating like it's got some great things. The lighting is great. But if you stand in certain parts during the fireworks, you miss a lot. And I think they could have done something. I don't know what they could have done, but I think they could have done something so everybody could have had a good view rather than a great view, and then it tapers off to almost a fair view of the video clips that they show. So, but it's a great show. It's not Illuminations though. All right, where are we? Number 6. Kurt.
Something that I think I might be the only one that ever got to experience. The Mickey Mouse Review. Strictly nostalgia on this one. I missed that one. They were just think of the 3 Caballeros at the end of La Fiesta Tour de blah blah. Yeah, that.
Mm-hmm.
That. Okay. Think of that only on a grand scheme, and Mickey is your maestro. So the whole everything they have over there right now, with Mickey's Thriller Magic, is kind of like a digitalized version of Mickey being the maestro again.
I did get to experience that. I think it was like just once.
So
and I don't remember. I honestly don't remember it. So I never, I wasn't going to put it on my list. I just don't recall it at all.
The 3 Caballeros were up in the balcony. I remember that because they used to shoot off their guns and everything, going crazy as they were singing their song.
All right.
I was going 5 years before I ever got to.
Yeah, I used to always go to that show. So D-ticket attraction, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I'm sure it was great. I just, like I said, I don't remember it. I know I saw it once. At least I think I saw it once.
They took it out and they replaced it with Magic Journeys. Magic Journeys! Come on. God, it was horrible.
They tried.
It was a filler. It was just a filler. They had to have something in there.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of filler.
Oh, well, thank you.
Go ahead, John. Number 6.
I'm actually going. I'm kind of surprised myself that I have another one yet, but I have another parade on my list, and it's because I like the music so much and I like the effects, and it's Spectro Magic. I love the Spectro Magic, the characters, and it's certainly one of the ones that I miss for a nighttime show.
Wow, yeah, good choice. All right, Lottie.
We're on number 6, and I just looked over here at my list and realized that my number 6 is not at a park. It's on property. It's just not at a park.
Nope.
So I'm gonna move Body Wars to number 6.
Okay. All right, that's fine. For number 6, I went with Studio Backlot Tour. All right, let's go to number 5. Kurt.
So number 5, I actually have World of Motion. So that is nowhere related to Test Track.
No,
I really do miss it. That was a great show.
it was.
It's basically telling the timeline of how I do miss the old moon with the rocket stuck in his eye. It was a great picture.
Yeah,
So-
you know what? I went on that attraction when it was at the World's Fair.
That's right.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and then I went on it again. I guess it was in 1990.
Fun to be free. Existentios wrote the song.
Yes, yes, he wrote a lot of great
Yes,
things.
he did.
A lot of stuff in the hunt. Was it the? I think it was the Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion. He
Yeah.
also wrote Grim Grinning Ghost, and he also wrote Pirates of the Caribbean, I believe.
Yes, he did.
Really?
Oh,
Yep.
I mentioned on Monday's
yeah.
show. Oh, what was the name of the legend that just died? I think his last name was Logan. My God, it's whatever I read on Tuesday night's newscast that we had recorded. This guy was a phenomenal talent, just as was Existencio, and they just don't get Imagineers
No.
that can do what these guys did. You know, up until like I guess the 90s or even the early 2000s. I'm sure, you know, when we get into the late 2020s, we'll start seeing more Imagineers that have a lot of great credits, but it's just he was a phenomenal legend.
Well, they used to keep him on. They used to keep him around. Now it's
Yeah.
all right. The attraction's done. See ya.
Yeah, right. Your contract's up. You
Yep.
know, and we'll find somebody else for the next project.
Yeah.
Who's going to cost less?
Yeah, go to Universal and go build their park up and make their.
Oh
park
no!
beautiful.
Hey, don't.
That's what they did. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Universal can't hold a candle to Disney. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's-
Well, you know, I'll hold reservation for the new park because it's not there yet. But yeah, you're right. It's a former Imagineer who's building
Yeah.
that park.
Well, same thing with the whole Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Look at the detail put into Gringotts Bank. Come on.
Yeah. Well,
Those are our boys and girls, our men and women.
all right. John.
We're at number 5.
Yep.
Yep.
This is Disney MGM Studios, and I think this existed for a little bit at the Disney Hollywood Studios, and it's the same building, but it's a different attraction and a different name, and it's the Great Movie Ride.
Yeah,
Honorable mention right there. Yep.
I've got that lower down on my list. Good choice.
I assume that would be high on some folks' list.
Yeah. That was a attraction that myself and my family loved to go on over and over and over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I always liked when I would get the half of the attraction that I hadn't been getting lately.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, a lot of times we seem to end up in the gangster scene.
That's all that was running for a while.
And
yeah.
we wouldn't get the
Western.
Yeah, we got the Western. Yeah, the Western and the gangster scene were the two ones we got the most.
Those are the only two that were available.
That would make sense why we got those two.
Yeah, those. Wow. Why did I only get those two?
Why did I think there was a third one?
No, just those two.
I'm getting old. I don't remember anything.
Did you see the hidden Mickey poster that was in the back on the back wall of the gangster room? All you could see was Mickey's foot.
Yeah, don't recall that.
Poster on the wall. All the posters were all over the walls, and you see a ripped portion of the gangster poster, and underneath of it was Mickey's foot.
All right. As we all remember that so fondly, except for Kurt.
No, it's a great show.
No, it was. None of us remember it except you, the foot.
Oh, yeah. Well, R2-D2 was also in the no, it was Mickey. Well, R2-D2 was there, but also Mickey and Donald were in the Pharaoh scene of Indiana Jones when they were pulling off the crypt. If you turned around on the backside, there was Mickey and Donald was like handing something to Mickey, who was a pharaoh. So, yeah, I wasn't looking where I was supposed to look. I was looking the other direction, trying to get pictures. Pre-iPhones, so.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Days of the cameras. All right. Who's up now? Lottie, I think you're up, right?
Lottie, number 5. We are here to change the world.
I was waiting for that.
Captain EO.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
knew
it's
that was
just
going to
another
come up
part of me.
tonight, and I wonder why.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Maybe we get John to sing
Right.
It's Just Another Part of Me now, too, instead of Let It Go.
God.
I think he's playing a couple octaves above me.
Oh, come on. I got to get a hee-hee out of you. I can't hit it anymore. You've got to be able to. We'll get Lottie to hit it. We'll get our girls in there. They can hit it.
No.
No?
No.
Where's Kyle when we need him?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Kyle's going to hit
He's
that
got
either.
a deeper voice than any of us.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. My number 5 was Horizons.
Okay.
Love the attraction, but I loved others a little bit more, so didn't make it past number 5. All right, Kurt, you're up. What you got?
Can we all just have a moment of silence, please? Mr.
You don't
Toad's
have-
Wild Ride.
Yeah, I've got that higher up on my list.
Me too.
I
Oh no, I don't. It's right where you are.
miss Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Go,
It almost went higher, but I went with other ones for deeper nostalgia.
you
But
can
Mr.
find-
It was just such a simple ride, but I'm sorry, you're going to hell.
It was.
So
It's still at Disneyland.
Yes,
I know. Well, the full attraction at Disneyland, that was the difference. You went left, and then you got out, and you went over and you went right, so you got the full effect.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the only one that doesn't have that on my list.
Wow.
It's not that I dislike Mr. Toad. I never had that emotional attachment to it like a lot of Disney fans do.
It's a great attraction, and you know what? I'm surprised. I'm not surprised Kurt didn't have it. I'm surprised we have it in the same spot.
Well, 'cause they replaced it with Pooh.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh. Let me rephrase.
No, they replaced it with Pooh.
So there was actually my mom was making a blanket because they did that in 2000 when they were getting rid of that. We didn't ride that for like 1 or 2 years. And when my mom was asking what character she was sewing this blanket for my son, I said, I do not want any Winnie the Pooh characters on there. So my second son got them, and my older son, he's like, why don't I have any? And I explained, he goes, good reason, Dad. So he finally got to ride the attraction at Disneyland. He goes, I understand. There was a good boycott. So not that I don't like the Winnie the Pooh attraction. I just didn't want it there. I didn't want it there.
It's a good attraction, but it's not Mr. Toad.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You
But
can't
you know
drive
what?
those carts.
I like it better.
These are things we know.
Oh, mute him.
Well,
I
as I
do
was saying,
too.
these are things that we know and have to expect with Disney World and Disneyland and any Disney park. Things are going to change.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's a little more difficult for them to change certain things at Disneyland only because of the fan base that's out there in California.
Mm-hmm.
They're a little more attached to some of these older classic attractions than we are here at the World.
Just all you got to do is mention taking out Carousel of Progress, though, and we'll see how people react to that one. So no one wants to see that.
I think that would be the one here. I think there are actually two. I think it's a Small World, and I think Carousel of Progress. You take those two out at the Magic Kingdom. I think you'll have a.
You couldn't take Haunted Mansion out. You couldn't take Pirates out.
No.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you,
they're not taking those out.
They freaked out at Disneyland when they added the Disney characters and It's a Small World, and it was done tastefully. I loved it, and they're like, "How dare you?"
It's a great
it was done very tastefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make people that complained about Maelstrom, look tame.
Yeah.
All right, John.
Where are we? Number
4.
Number 4. Well, Stuart is so timely, and he is not the first to pass this day, because Maelstrom was next on my list. As much as I have no problem with them having changed Maelstrom, I still, it's one of my top 10 attractions. I have it at number 4. And yes, You are not the first to pass this way,
Nor will you be the last.
or shall ye be the
Be
last.
the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Frozen, but I enjoyed Maelstrom more. Yet it didn't make my top 10. All right, Lottie.
I've got a Great Movie Ride at spot number 4.
Yeah, good choice. Now, because Kurt had Mr. Toad's Wild Ride at 4, I'm going to change mine. Country Bears Jamboree.
Which version? Because it's the same exact show.
It doesn't matter. Just the country. It should be extinct.
Oh,
It
no,
should be
absolutely
extinct.
not.
I'm kidding. I'm
No.
kidding. First of all, Country Bears Jamboree is still there. It's a great little attraction. A lot of people think it's seen better days, but I know Kurt loves it. That's why I mentioned that.
I love it too.
High five, John. There you go.
Look, I like it also. I wouldn't say I love it. I like it.
They shortened it too much. I understand why they did with our short attention span theater family that we've got now. Not family, but guests in general. So I understand why they shortened it. They politically corrected a couple things. At least they kept Mama Don't Whoop Little Buford. Thank you for that. But they cut out a good, I think about 8 minutes of that show is gone.
Yeah, you know what I'd like to see them do with that? I'd like to see them pick up the attraction and move it somewhere in and around the Wilderness Lodge and put something new in Frontierland.
Bring back the Christmas show.
Oh yeah, I love the Christmas show.
Yeah.
Hasn't been there since 2015.
Anyway, officially my selection for number 4 is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
At least we'll agree on that one.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to number 3, Kurt.
Okay. I did not the back lot tour. I did the backstage studio tour. So I wasn't just riding on the tram and seeing the water show and everything. You got the full boat. It was a 2-hour tour.
Yep.
They had bathrooms in the front and bathrooms in the back. But you saw the costumes, you saw the scene shop, the residence street. You got to watch them as they did. I saw Carol Alt there reviewing. She was doing voiceover work for whatever the Hulk Hogan show that used to be on.
Yeah. It was something Paradise or Paradise something.
They had this big boat that you couldn't even afford to put gas in right now. Riptide or something like that it was called.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So you got to see, because that was when Honey, I Shrunk the Kids was going on. So they had the bee out there and you could ride around on the bee. And they had people going, and you saw them flying all over the place. So they showed how they do their superimposed green screen stuff. It was a fun show. No pictures, please, because these are actually in production. So I really missed that.
There was a scene with flames coming out too. I don't,
That was the water scene. That was the water effects tank.
And they used to take you with around to where they were shooting some of the TV shows. One of them, oh God, I can't remember the names of the shows. It was one. I think B. Arthur was in one of those shows that they had in the
Golden Girls.
Yeah.
Golden Girls. Yeah. That was the house.
Yep.
Yeah.
Odd. Well, and they also had the fire at Catastrophe Canyon.
Yes, that was there too.
Yeah, that was cool. I forgot about that. That was really cool. That attraction. Yeah, good, really good choice, Kurt.
Thank you.
All right, John.
Oh, we're up to number 3. I don't know if anybody else is going to have this one. Of course, there's a number of mine already that people have not had on their list. And I know it doesn't necessarily fit where it was, and it was not friendly for all people. But you got to like yourself a little bit of Tim Curry and extraterrestrial alien encounter.
Yep. Honorable mention. Yep.
I would be happy to have that come back today. It was different. It was dark but fun at the same time. It's and it's a shame that thing just sits there. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, Stuart insisted on adding Stitch, and that just ruined it.
They had my favorite Disney character, Stitch.
That stupid chili dog.
You know what I always say?
All the things
you can't have enough Stitch in the parks.
Oh,
I still don't understand why preschoolers love Stitch so much.
Ava
the
bought
voice.
one today.
It's an alien rat. That's all Stitch is.
Oh, she loves Stitch. She bought a little Stitch plushie today
Wow.
at
oh yeah,
Target.
I
Mhm.
like Stitch. I don't like Stitch's Great Escape.
Escape.
Yeah.
No. Well, I'm not a big fan of Stitch, period, but just, my opinion. All right. Lottie.
Number 3. There's nothing better than doing the wine and dine half and then turning the corner at MGM and going through Osborne Lights.
Oh,
Oh, I forgot about the Osborne Lights
Oh.
too. Oh,
Man, I
put
miss
that on my honorable
big
mention.
yeah.
Yeah.
you don't think you're gonna make it, and then those lights are there, and that's enough to get you through. I don't know that I've ever actually experienced the Osborne Lights outside of
Oh,
wine and dine, but I always stopped and screwed up my time and took my time to go through Osborne Lights during the race.
All right, cool.
except for when it is raining.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
during the year of the splash and dash.
get out. Just get out. Get done.
All right.
Yeah,
now-
that's exactly how it was. I was so much looking forward to that part of it.
Mm,
And, but then when it's toward the end of the race and you're soaked,
Okay, so before John, remember you had said something that just triggered my memory, and I remembered an attraction. Well, I'm calling it audible here at number 3.
uh-oh.
I initially had the Great Movie Ride on here. Now I'm taking the Great Movie Ride, which I loved, off my list completely, and I'm replacing it with the Kitchen Cabaret.
Oh,
You're close.
veggie, fruit.
yeah.
Yep.
That was on my drop list, unfortunately, near the end.
Yeah. All right, Kurt, we're down to number 2.
You're close. You're in the correct part. Cranium Command. I miss. Did we ever find Buzzy? Do we know where? Did he get returned?
I don't think so.
There's a fuzzy dog back there.
Well, but somebody kidnapped Buzzy, and I don't think he ever got returned. I'm very upset about that. But Buzzy was like, it's awesome. And I was like, oh yeah, but it's all these characters. No one knows who they are. You don't need to know who they are. They were funny. It was awesome. So,
yeah, good choice. All right, John.
Oh my gosh, are we up to me already?
2.
Well, I absolutely, wholeheartedly, with all my soul, agree with Lottie. And that is the Osborne Family Spectacle of Dancing Lights. That is the best show I have ever seen in Walt Disney World. My heart aches for that. I don't care where they bring it back. I would, if they put that on Main Street, I'd be happy. I would love to have
Well, I can tell you where the lights went. Give kids the world.
Give kids the world.
Here's the world.
Yeah. But I have no hope for it ever coming back. But that was an experience that I'm so glad I got to see it a number of times, and I got to see it in the closing year, in the closing days. But yeah, and my heart aches for it.
You should light up a 2.
I wish I had remembered, because
I would do that too. Yeah.
They got that whole inner sanctum area where they do all the shops and stuff are. Light it up.
That would be a great spot for it.
No room in there, but
I mean, it would be out of story with that music, but I'd do it. I wouldn't care.
All right, Lottie.
My number 2 is Mr. Toad's. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
Yeah. That seems to be a favorite amongst us. One of the favorites.
Yeah, I got to get my kids to Disneyland so they can experience it. I somehow think that I'm going to turn on the TV one day and they're going to be talking about shutting it down. So
no, they can't do that there. They do that. That's like Kurt said, that's like moving.
They
wouldn't do it.
No,
they can't. Well, they can, but they won't.
I don't see that they would ever.
They will really be calling for people's heads if they cut that, if they shut that down.
Well, they know it's not in their interest to do that for their fans, but
Absolutely.
Hmm.
All right, my number 2. Nobody's mentioned this, and I'm a little surprised. I thought somebody might have this on their list. Superstar Television.
Oh God,
What?
no.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know what that is. What is that?
They'd have sets where they would take people from the audience, guests, and put them in the show. It could be I Love Lucy, or I forgot the other shows that.
I was
Honeymooners,
in
I think was
Cheers.
one of them. Cheers.
Where
Norm.
Hollywood Studios?
Yeah. It's where Frozen Ever After is right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
what's that called?
It preceded Who Wants to Be a
Television.
Millionaire.
What was that called?
Superstar Television.
Superstar Television.
But that's been gone for a long, long
Oh,
Long
yeah.
time.
Yep. A very long time.
It's one of the first, attractions to be changed there.
Well, then they moved in American Idol.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
I was this close a couple of times to being on American Idol there.
Yeah, let me guess. They said you were too old.
No, I just in the very last interview part, I just didn't, I just didn't fit into the show that they for whatever they wanted that day. And
25-year-olds.
You know who was in the show?
who?
Your
Dave
daughter.
Rashoni's wife,
Okay.
Kathy Rashoni. I remember seeing her on the stage. This was after one of Lou Mangello's WDW radio cruises.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't remember if she made it to the final, but she was in it.
Because that was one of those, if you made it to the final, it was an automatic bid to go for an audition for the actual show.
If you were under 30 years old.
Yeah, there's
Yep.
the under 30. There you go.
Something somewhere around there. But yeah, it was just one little. The very next step was I was going to be in the show a few times, and
I believe I heard 20-year anniversary of that show now.
Is it okay?
20-year anniversary.
Wow.
So
All right. Where are we now? We're up to number 1.
number 1. This one was hard. I got a couple on honorable mention that belonged up closer to number 1. But my number 1 is it's a show you can still watch on YouTube, and it still brings a tear to my eye when I watch it. Happily Ever After. That was groundbreaking. When you took a fireworks show.
Is it coming back?
I don't think so.
There's talk about it.
I would love for it to come back. I mean, when we watched Wishes, and you could watch it from the Top of the World Lounge, it was just spectacular. It was the best view, whether you're up there or down on Main Street, USA, it didn't matter. Happily Ever After, you had to watch from Main Street just to get all those effects on that they were doing on the castle. So I miss that show.
You know what? We're talking about the castle and the illuminations on the castle. Do you think Disney has done too much now with their fireworks show in the Magic Kingdom, where your eyes go up and down Main Street? They're on the castle, they're on the fireworks themselves. Do you think it's more than people really need?
No, I love it.
Yeah, me too. I love it all.
It's different.
Just wanted to bring it up.
Where you are, you have a different perspective.
Yes.
So it's good that they include more people that way.
Right, because now you can stand back by the railroad station and look down Main Street. You can still see the fireworks, but now your eye has more to view and there's more to take in. So I think it's a good thing what they did. I just wanted to raise the question just for the hell of it. All right, John.
This is going to sound hackneyed.
Don't say it.
I have Horizons for my number 1.
Okay, I expected someone to have Horizons at number 1.
And it's not because everybody else pines for it, and it's not that I pine for it. I really enjoyed the attraction when it was there. I had no problem with them switching it over because the fact was there were no people waiting in line to get on that attraction at the end.
Yep.
And
just like Maelstrom.
Yeah.
Well, actually, even fewer. There
was less. Maelstrom, you'd go walk in. Oh, look, there's no line. You'd walk inside. It was still 20 minutes.
Yep.
So
but Horizons, I'm glad I got to experience it in its heyday when it was at its
Mm.
peak. I'd gladly ride it again if it was still around, but it was my number one.
Now, just a quick thought on this. Good choice, good placement of it. I had a feeling, like I said, somebody would have it number one. Mission Space. That's another attraction that, because of the long lines that you're seeing at Disney World, it is getting guests. But for a long time, that was a ghost town there. Do you see that being changed anytime in the next? I'm not going to say now because we know they're not going to spend the money now, but anytime within the next 5 or 6 years.
Stuart, you say there's a long line, but
It really isn't.
We got the Disney Plus for it,
Yeah.
or the Genie Plus for it. I'm sorry. And walked over there. The Genie Plus was for the orange, not the green. The green was a walk on. The green is always a walk on. They ruined it. They tried to fix it by, we're good. It's going to fly over.
Yep.
They ruined it.
It doesn't leave Earth.
It was fine.
It was
when it
fine.
was just not spinning.
Yep.
Exactly.
I tried it just to feel how it was. And oh, you know what? And some people still couldn't even do it when it was green.
Stuart.
Yeah, me. That's right.
Yeah.
I could see that being changed in the next 5 or 6 years. I don't see it happening anytime soon.
I think it needs to.
Yeah.
But then again, look how long we've had the latest iteration of Imagination. And
Yeah, I know.
how long we had Stitch's Great Escape. So.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. One day it'll go by the way of Sounds Dangerous. Where the building is there, the sign will still be up, and it'll be Little Mermaid right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's another one. It's like, what's happening there? The sign's up, but nobody's home.
Yeah.
All right, Lottie.
My number one feels pretty contradictory to who I am as a person, because I am a
Earl of Sandwich.
What? Not restaurant.
Yeah, Napoli.
Via Napoli.
I am a person that I just one and done for the fireworks. For me, I don't need to see the fireworks ever again. But the theme song to Wishes is on my favorites list in the car. I absolutely loved Wishes. Yeah, I missed that one.
I had a feeling somebody would have. I didn't know it would be number one on someone's list, but I had a feeling somebody would have Wishes in there too.
That's why I took Happily Ever After. That song was so powerful that I just
Illuminations too. I don't
on there. Yeah,
I don't remember the name of the song in Illuminations, but yeah,
We Go On, or there's a couple of
them. For my number one, it's been on everybody's list, but it's for me. It brings back very early childhood memories because I got to do this at the New York City World's Fair. World of Motion. That was my number one. You just throw them out there if you want honorable mentions.
How did no one mention Main Street Electrical Parade?
Yep, I have that as an honorable mention right here.
Right, I had them I can't fit it in here. But I actually have a light bulb from the Main Street Electrical Parade.
Yeah. And I'm surprised nobody mentioned, because I thought it was a great show, The Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh, I love that show. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great show.
I didn't consider it, but I love that show. Yeah, Kitchen Cabaret. You mentioned that, Stuart. Yep. Yeah. Dream Flight.
I almost put on not Dream Flight, the predecessor to that. If You Had Wings.
If You Had Wings.
Yeah.
I never rode If You Had Wings, but I rode Dream Flight.
We'd ride it all the time because it was air conditioned and it was free. So my mom and my brother and my dad would go off to Space Mountain. I was too small. We'd go over and we'd ride it a couple times. Just go around.
Yeah,
Scary Adventures.
That was the other one that was on my list. Yes.
Yeah, that was one I had as an honorable mention as well.
There's just such a wealth of extinct experiences from which to choose. It's
Disney could open up a theme park with just extinct attractions. They're not going to, I don't want anybody to think that they ever will. That's not going to happen,
Yeah.
but they could.
Someone did a podcast on that, and it almost went to vote. It's like, would you go to a theme park if it was all extreme attractions from the different parks around Walt Disney World? But the problem is, there's a reason why they're extinct.
You wouldn't go back every year.
Right. You
Right.
would go once, and that would be it.
You couldn't. All of these attractions we're talking about, 9 out of 10 of. I mean, yeah, 20,000 Leagues was an e-ticket attraction. Most of these attractions are a C or a D attraction that we're talking about when you get right down to it. You're not going to pay $150 to go to a dark. Basically, they're like Fantasyland attractions when you get right down to it.
And there's not enough Disney fans that would be able to support it.
Right.
That's absolutely true. You know what would happen? People would go into the park that they'd ride it once, maybe twice, maybe even 3 times, and they go, "Oh yeah, no, I can see why they."
It had its time. It enriched our lives, and we moved on.
Right, and it serves as fond memories.
Yes, yes.
And you know what? As much as I love some of these attractions, that's where they should stay, as fond memories.
Right, right. Your memory would be tainted if you went on some of these attractions now, or it replaced, something more current.
I'm just going to say one thing: don't ever get rid of Carousel of Progress. Please.
Oh, please!
Yeah, Carousel.
Don't ever even put it on the bubble.
Redo the last scene and make it more nostalgic.
Yep.
With that.
I want them to turn it back to the original.
Was it 64?
63, 64, somewhere.
64.
Yeah.
Same thing. You can't change. You can't do anything about the narrator now. If you change the narrator, people are going to freak out.
Yep.
Gene Shepard. Yeah.
Yep. Gene Shepard. He used to broadcast. He was from Chicago, and he used to broadcast in New York City over WOR radio. He had a 1-hour radio show every night, and he would tell stories. He was a great storyteller.
Yeah. He told the story of what was the Christmas story. Just shoot your eye out.
Yep.
We got to see the house there in Cleveland in June.
If you're a fan of Gene Shepard, he has an album. It's called The Declassified Gene Shepard. If you can find a print of it, it is hilarious. One of the reasons I wanted to do this show this week is because we've got D23 Expo coming up between the 9th and the 11th at Disney, in California. So we don't know what announcements are going to come out of there. We will do, we're going to do a show. The new show is going to cover a lot of that after the event. But we'll see. Maybe we'll discuss. We're just bringing the news. Maybe we'll discuss the actual, our feelings on what announcements they make, if it's worthwhile, on that Thursday show. So we might devote a whole week of shows. When I say a whole week, I mean 2 shows to the D23 Expo, because we have no idea. There hasn't been even a single rumor coming out of there that has any momentum to even discuss. That's how quiet they're keeping it.
If they do a Disney Plus triple play at a special rate, now that it's been 3 years, now that I just signed up for the triple play, I'm going to be upset.
I've been holding off.
I have been holding off too, because I'm still trying to figure out what decision I'm going to make on that. I do not want Disney Plus with ads. Hulu, I do not mind with ads. And I want to see how many Ranger games are going to be on ESPN Plus to make it worth my while. And and you mentioned Carol Alt before. Do you know she was once married to a former New York Ranger hockey player, Ron Greshner? He wore number 4 for the Rangers. He was one of my favorites back then.
She was one of mine. Of the Sports Illustrated.
I could see. Yeah, I could see why.
There you go.
Yeah, it's very statuesque.
Yeah, these are your co-hosts here, Lottie.
Well, Lottie's trying to look up what the Ranger looked like.
No, I'm still trying to figure out this Superstar Television thing.
Don't worry, it's not coming back.
Heard of it before tonight.
Yeah, it's not coming back, unfortunately, or fortunately.
Yeah, I don't remember what my line was, and unfortunately, there was no way to get a video copy of it.
No.
No,
Mm.
because everything was all copyrighted.
Hmm.
Well, and it wasn't like you could take your phone and record
No.
it.
Right. There were no phones.
Yeah,
then.
there was these big, you know,
Video
miniature,
camera.
tape
Yeah.
recorders.
Wasn't it pre-video No.
I think it was
No, you had video cam. There were video cameras, but they were huge.
VHS
Yeah,
video.
that's right.
VHS. You weren't allowed to use them.
It was the early
You-
days. Yeah.
Nobody mentioned the animation academy, over in the
Oh
animation
my
area.
God, you're right.
Because it's not closed.
Yeah, it is.
It is
You
closed.
still do it. You could still.
No, you don't have Imagineers there that were actually doing drawings.
They
and
were
putting it
making
on.
Okay, yeah.
movies. That's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, that's right.
So-
Kurt, you're absolutely right.
Lilo
Wow.
and Stitch.
That would have been on Kyle's
Look,
list.
Speaking of Stitch,
Brother Bear, Lilo and
Brother-
Stitch,
With the barnyard, with the backyard.
Mulan.
No, the backyard one with Rosie.
Home on the Range.
Home on the Range.
Oh God.
That is my least favorite Disney movie of all time.
That
I was
was
gonna
the
say that.
downfall.
I
of-
remember.
And Chicken Little.
I remember.
No, Chicken
going to
Little
that
was good at least.
movie. Oh
It
yeah,
had a
it
better
was better
story
than-
It was better than Home on the Range.
Home on
Yeah.
the Range.
I remember going to that movie with my kids. They wanted to see it, and we came out of there, and it's like I could have thrown money out the window. It would have been worth more.
Mm.
Yeah, I was not a
it was-
fan.
It was a bad movie. It never should have been made.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I was not a fan. That was the downfall. That's when they're like, we're not making traditionally animated movies anymore. Well, maybe if you actually stuck to a storyline.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, they did. You know, they took a few years off. They came back, and they came back with a bang.
Princess and the Frog was the last hand drawn.
Hand animated, I believe.
One of my favorites.
That was good.
Love the music too.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the D23 Expo brings us. It could be things outside of the park more so than in the parks. It could be different experiences that may cost a little green. We'll see. We don't know. Everybody's speculating, but nobody knows. They've kept this under wraps better this year than they have any other year.
I would just be happy for them to have some surprises for the park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not going to all this trouble just to say, okay, you paid your money, see ya. They're not doing that.
Yeah.
There will be.
If there's no surprises announced, I'll be disappointed.
Okay,
I wish one was
quiet. Anything they say will be a surprise.
let's make a prediction. What one attraction does everyone predict they're going to be discussing as doing a refurb to?
Oh, there's so many they could. Mine goes to Journey to Imagination.
Bingo.
That would be, and that's just off the top of my head without giving it much thought.
They teased it. The last one that they had, which was 2019, they teased it because they talked about it several times. They teased it and they never came out with it. So it was rumored that the next year that's what they were going to be talking about. And then I don't know, we were distracted. We had a 2-year hiatus. It was like Thanos snapped his fingers and we all just disappeared.
Yeah, but I've heard things in the past too that it could be the Speedway in Tomorrowland.
Yeah. That's
Changing
one of
over
those.
to all electric with Tesla.
No, but that it could be completely
Well,
changed.
Have to reduce the carbon footprint of those cars. So yeah, let's just remake all that.
Yeah. Well, we talked about Cars. We talked about Sugar Rush as two possible themes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hey, is Kyle going to give us a hee out of the background there?
Hey, Kyle.
Come on, he's got to sing another part
It's
of me.
marvelous to see you.
Hee hee.
There you go.
Ooh,
See?
Not to be
he's got
confused
it.
with
put that
that,
over here.
not
Just
to be
another
confused
part
with
of
that
me.
chicken from the chicken from Moana.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey.
Before we get out of here, before I forget, I do want to mention next Thursday, we're going to have a very special guest on the show. He's been on the show before, and he'll be, hey, Goofy.
Where's my hat?
He's been on the show before, and he'll be back next week. Victor Naraki, who will be here to talk about relocating to Florida if you're looking to still move to the Walt Disney World area. And that'll be next Thursday. So just wanted to mention that to you guys. And we're going to be recording it at a special time.
2:00 in the morning?
No, it won't be late. It'll be earlier. So yeah, I just wanted to get that out there to those interested in moving to Florida. If you've got any questions, you can send them to me at Facebook, and I'll pass them on to Victor. So just look me up on Facebook, and you can message me with your questions, or Darlene if you choose, or any one of these guys. So yeah. All right, I think that's going to do it for us this week. Unless anybody else wants to mention anything about extinct attractions. John, do you have any more on your list?
Oh, I have others, but I'm
Yeah, let's have it.
What else? You had most of them. You had another version of Universe of Energy. I had on Living Seas, O Canada. Those, I mean, we talked about the other ones I had on my list, and those are just the ones that I even had on my list to consider. Some of them I knew weren't going to be in my top 10, so I never even put them on.
Yeah,
my top 18.
You know what? Nobody had the stunt spectacular show at
Lights, motors, action.
Yeah. And I'm glad, because that, if you saw it once, you never had to see it again.
Yeah.
The little Suzukis.
They're great stunt actors. It was a great show, but like I said, if you saw it once, that's all you needed to do. See it once.
Yeah, it wasn't around for a long time, was it?
No, and it took up a lot of space there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did. Well,
yep.
I had two on my list that don't count because they were not inside the parks. And
okay.
That was River Country and Pleasure Island.
Oh yeah.
River Country, I missed that.
Yep.
One time I was there.
I didn't go, but
I just remember seeing the commercials. Now, they were supposed to build another resort in that area, and they stopped.
Still working on it.
No, they stopped.
Did they?
They stopped. They did finally get rid of all of the remnants of River Country, but they didn't build anything else.
Yeah.
They were.
I wonder if they have to wait for all the sand to get set in place.
I don't know, but budget cuts caused that.
Yeah. They were going to build Reflections there, the DVC property, and they stopped it. It's a financial thing.
Now, they're not saying it's dead in the water, pardon the pun. But they did stop, and it's over the fields where they were going to, or the footprint where they were going to build it, is now overgrown with weeds and grass and walled off. So take it for what it is. But remember, at Disney, no good idea is ever a dead idea, or no idea is ever a dead idea with them. They can always bring it back. Unlike Beastly Kingdom, but they could bring it back. All right, we're going to get out of here. Everybody, have a great holiday weekend. Enjoy Labor Day, or enjoy the fruits of your labor on Labor Day by having the day off, whether you're barbecuing or whatever you're doing. Have a great time, great weekend. Be safe. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.
See you real soon.
We talked about so much tonight, so I've got a quick little medley. And it's fun to be free, to be on the move. Horizons shining and new. Veggie fruit, veggie fruit. Olay! Cha-cha-cha. Come back next week so we don't become extinct. See you then.